Welcome in, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank you for being here with us today. Just a quick reminder, a little housekeeping here. We do want these sessions to remain completely anonymous for you. And so the chat has been disabled. You can drop questions in the Q&A, and it does give you an option to drop that question in anonymously. So make sure you're checking that button. You may raise your hand and ask to speak, but do know that it will show the name you registered under if you do that. So be aware of that. Today, I'm really excited. We've got two amazing ladies with us. Rachel Caple is Geneva Financial's Chief Sales and Revenue Officer. She's also been named one of the Women of Inspiration by National Mortgage Professional magazine. And she will be interviewing one of our top producing branch managers based out of Arizona, Julie Dedmon. Not only is she a top producing branch manager in the top 10 constantly, but she is probably, in my opinion, as the Chief Marketing Officer, our #1 culture warrior out there, really representing the brand and living our good human initiative to the fullest. She just really grasped onto it from minute one, and I love her for that. So we've got an amazing interview ahead for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and remove this message from the screen so you can see them both. And with that, Rachel and Julie, the floor is yours.
Thanks, James. Good
Thanks,
morning,
James.
Julie.
Hi, how are you?
One of my favorites. I'm so excited. Don't tell the others. How's the heat? Are you holding up?
I am. I stay inside and the air conditioning works, so I'm good.
Because the pool doesn't even help at this point, right? Too hot.
Not really. You got to get in before the sun comes up or it's not worth it.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I have some questions for you here. And I know we've obviously spoken many, many times about some of these things, but for the benefit of everyone else, we'll dive in. So first and foremost, how did you get into the mortgage industry? What's your journey been? And how did it bring you to Geneva Financial?
That journey started quite a while ago. In 1996, I took a job as a receptionist for a title company. And inside of about 60 days, I became an escrow officer assistant. And then one Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, my escrow officer had had enough apparently and walked out of the office. And so they said, well, this is your desk now. And I was like, okay, I guess I could figure this out. But I had already gotten the bug. Real estate, title, escrow, mortgage, all of it just fascinated me. So fast forward from there, in 2000, I handled escrows for my now husband, who was in mortgage. And I decided I wanted to go back to school. And so I got my marketing degree and I opened my own little marketing company. And I worked for 13 loan officers, and they were all the loan officers in his office. So I taught them relationships, right? And how to care for people and nurture those relationships. And then I thought, these people aren't very good at this. I'm going to actually get into this and try this myself. So I did. And again, numbers are my thing. So from there, I worked at a lot of different companies in a ton of different capacities. I thought my goal was to climb to the top of some big mortgage company somewhere and be some VP, or I don't know what that looked like, but I thought that was like the end all be all. And it's not, it wasn't. That burned me out quick. And so in 2018, I actually was, I'm not going to cry. I was going to get out of the mortgage business. I had just been burned up. So when James says that I'm the biggest advocate for this culture, I got out because I wanted to work with good human beings again. And it had been a long time since I had done that. So fast forward, I chatted with Aaron briefly through some interesting coincidences, and he invited me to come to the year-end celebration. And so I did. And you guys unveiled the Be a Good Human logo. And I was like, what is happening right now? And so to me, I had found my home, my forever home, I'm never leaving. I'm like, this is it. This is everything I could have ever dreamt would exist in the mortgage business. And it reignited my fire. It got me excited. I'm surrounded by amazing human beings who love this industry more than I can even explain. It's pretty awesome.
Awesome. I love
So
that.
sorry, long answer to a short
No,
question.
that's a great answer. Jeez. That's awesome. And I know just by knowing you and calling you a friend that you're very passionate about how we, our culture, what our culture means and represents. So I love that about you. And your transparency. Clearly that's on full and in full force right now. So I love that too. So what do you think the biggest difference between other companies you've originated with and Geneva is?
So many things. I would say, to me, from the very first time I met and talked with Aaron, he asked me what I wanted, and I said I didn't want, excuse my language, any more bullshit in this industry, right? I wanted transparency, honesty, and so on. And I think that that's one of the fundamental things that sets us apart, is that from our owners and who they are as people and what they believe and what's important to them, we are run by good human beings, right? And that trickles all the way down. The fact that we have no layers of management, we don't pay people to just exist in this space and do nothing but suck air, right? It allows us to be who we are and build what we've built. Yeah. So I think that's huge for us as a company.
Agree. So what would your advice be to someone who wanted to step into a branch manager role? Maybe they had been, loan officer or in a strong loan officer, but looking to grow their career in that space. What advice do you have for them?
Take a leap, believe in yourself. I would say, especially at Geneva, if you are an entrepreneurial minded person, this is definitely the space for you, because whatever you believe that you can build, you can here, and you will, because you're supported and held accountable and driven by the teams around you. But that would be my suggestion. I mean, this is absolutely, like I said, I worked in spaces everywhere from consumer direct to broker world to banking, to the similar setup to what we have here. There isn't a platform like what we have. So if you are a worker and you want the freedom to build what you dream, this is the best platform out there. So take the leap, believe in yourself, and let us help support you.
That's awesome. Yes, absolutely. The support, I think, is key. Even though we don't have a bunch of layers of management, I feel like we have a very supportive corporate staff and leadership team. So
I will tell you on that note, sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
We've got a few, I mean, there's so many of our branch managers that are so amazing, but I can remember back when I was getting started and just trying to kind of wrap my head around what it was I wanted next in my business, right? I left a position where I was an area manager of multiple states. I was traveling 3.5 weeks a month. I didn't even know how to live my life anymore, right? So I didn't even know what I wanted, really. I reached out to half a dozen, at least, branch managers who are busy. Breton McDonald, Chaley Ridge, right? Every single one of them was like, we'll jump on a call with your team. We'll jump on a call with you. We'll share everything that we do. We'll help you learn the systems. Like, not one person I talked to was like, oh, I'm really busy. You're going to have to talk to my assistant, or whatever the other 150 excuses are, right? In life or the world. So yeah, it was incredible, the support from people that are just your peers, just wanting you to succeed as much as they are.
Yeah, I find that a big difference between other companies and Geneva. It's just in the culture. That's, it's how people are. They want to help each other. And I love that. But that kind of leads into the next question about our culture. And I know you touched on our culture obviously a bit, and I love that. But as far as how it helped you grow, I mean, that's a great example. But as far as, you know, our message we put out there and how, what we have in place for our culture, what we believe, how has that helped your business grow?
I thought about that a lot when I first came here. How is that going to help me grow? And now reflecting back on it, I would say the biggest thing is it's helped me become me. We have a culture that celebrates the human spirit, right? Who each one of us are uniquely, and then together, this amazing thing that we're building and growing within this industry of mortgage. And so in my business, it's given me confidence, passion, excitement, a whole team of people. I've never in person met you and hugged you, Rachel, but I know if I need anything, all I have to do is text you, right? Like one of my dear friends who I've known my whole life.
Yeah.
So, right. So how has that helped me grow my business? Exponentially. It's helped me figure out who I am and what I want, and know that I can create that and I can build that, and I have the support to do that. And
Yeah.
sometimes it keeps me in check in my life, right? I wear one of, I'm going to pull my earphones out. I wear one of these shirts every day, but every day I'm working. And it reminds me that not only in business, but in life, right? Choose, just be a good human being first.
Absolutely.
So, anyway.
Great answer. I love it. So obviously we're all, you know, working to make money. I mean, that's really the bottom line, right? And our culture contributes to that. And that's just icing on the cake. But a lot of the pushback we get from recruits or potential recruits, people wanting to come on board, and even when they come on board, asking about the compensation. Is it real? Is it bait and switch? Does it impact their P&L somehow? Can you speak a little bit to that topic and what your experience has been with not only the compensation, but, you know, your P&L, how these things might or might not impact your P&L in our compensation?
Okay, so I think I know what you're asking, but I might ask you clarification. So it's not too good to be true. It's real, 250%. In fact, I'm making more than I thought I was going to make. It's a direct correlation to how hard you work and how well, I mean, if you choose to manage other individuals or branches or whatever, right? How well you manage that. I guess as far as our compensation and how it relates to your P&L, really, it's up to you. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the entrepreneurial mind, the entrepreneurial spirit, you have the power to create what your P&L looks like based on what you want to see, right? Your compensation is a direct correlation of your value. So again, building your confidence and knowing that you are the best in the industry, and then performing the things that make you the best in the industry, right? Equal top compensation. Our P&Ls are so simple. We don't get hit for really anything. You see your income from the loans that you've closed, right? Your commissions from those, the commissions you've paid out if you have any loan officers, etc. If you incur any cost, i.e. things you've paid for and want reimbursement from your branch, and then if you have benefits, and that's pretty much it. I mean, if you have rent, if you have an office, right, your rent and your expenses. Yeah. So your P&L is straightforward. There's nothing buried in it. I mean, like I said, I've worked at a pretty colorful variety of places, and P&Ls are pages and pages and pages and pages and pages long. Ours is like one, I think mine's one and maybe a few more lines. And I'm not as big as some of the branches, but it's simple, it's easy. And like I said, I'm making more than I thought I was going to make. I've been in the business a really long time. I've had some really successful years, and I'm making now what I was making when I was closing 20 some units a month.
Yeah.
And I'm not closing 20 some units a month. So anyway,
That's awesome.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Especially in this market, it's amazing. No, that's great. That's a great answer to the question. I think, like I said, we hear that constantly, right? Is it smoke and mirrors? Are you going to bait and switch me when I come in the door? What else are you taking out of this compensation that I'm receiving? Nothing.
And I think that's the other thing is we have a CEO, right, who he's just as transparent as any of the rest of us that work here.
Yeah.
Truly. Like when we do company-wide calls, like I get so energized because he just says it how it is, right? And he helps make things make sense, I guess, when you're already trying to do your own knowledge search and so on. But he created this company because he didn't want all of the nickel and dime line items, right? That's one of his big things. And since I've been here, it's never changed. When I talk to people, when I went to that very first meeting, right? Yeah. They'd been on board since the inception and the platforms never changed. So there's no games played in tough markets or in good markets, right? I mean, I was in the management circle that was doing that to people.
Right.
Right? Like there isn't any of that going on. It is what was promised, and it has never changed since I've been here, and I know long before that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I deal with the compensation and the margins all day long, and it's really just simple math. I mean, you back into the number, and there it is, right? So,
yeah. Got it.
Yeah,
got it.
All right, this is easy and a tough question, maybe. What's your favorite thing about Geneva Financial? Aside from James.
I will say that James is one of my favorite humans, for sure. So I have a marketing degree, like I said, and marketing is everything. And it was like mind-blowing to me all my years in the mortgage industry that no company I worked for gave two craps about marketing or staying ahead of, what was going on. And we don't worry about that here, right? James is the guy that's like, hey, did you know about this? You need to learn about this. You need to get into this, whatever. So what's my favorite thing about Geneva Financial? The people. That's super general, but the good ones stay, the bad seeds go. We attract some of the most incredible human beings with the most resilient life stories, right? You can have a deep conversation with them about things that matter from moment one. They know how to nurture relationships. They know how to do business, right? They believe in what we're building at Geneva and also as a bigger thing in this world, right? And that's to educate people about the decisions they're making and in the finance world, but then also consciously just being a better person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the people.
All right, that's great. All right, lastly, and I think you already kind of spoke to this with branch managers, but what about loan officers? What piece of advice would you give to loan officers looking to grow their business?
Join Geneva, like that's the simplest thing. I mean, so instead of paying all these other people that you're not really sure what they do, right? That money's going to come to you. That's the biggest difference. So, believe in yourself. You're your biggest limiting factor. Believe in yourself, put the work in, join Geneva, of course, because then your income just doubles or quadruples, right? Depending on where you came from. But take the leap of faith, do it.
Awesome, I love it. Yeah, I mean, I think, I joined Geneva as a branch manager, jumping off a cliff from another executive position. And I don't think I could have kept up with every direction I got as far as how to grow your business as an originator. and just starting even from scratch, or even, you know, and most originators obviously we're hiring are not starting from scratch, but there's so much support and direction and marketing pieces and things you can do that, yeah, I mean, I think all you have to do is believe in yourself and follow the path, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when I talk to people, I tell them, so you have all these amazing tools here at Geneva that are free, by the way, not only to the loan officers, but the branches. It's not like those are a hidden cost in the branch, right?
Yep.
So you have all these tools. And again, as much as you want to plug in and invest in yourself and your business that you're growing, the sky's the limit here. I mean, every bell and whistle and tool and cool marketing thing you could come up with that you want to do, you have an entire like marketing ad agency at your fingertips, because James' team is no joke, right? We all know that. But plug into the tools, utilize them, stay knowledgeable, and yeah, continue to become more and more of a professional every day.
Yeah. Perfect. Yes. All right. Well, those are all the questions I have for you.
Okay.
If there are any other questions, we can take time to answer those at this point.
That was amazing, ladies. Yes, we want to open it up for Q&A. So if you have any questions, drop those in the Q&A section. It's in your bottom toolbar on Zoom. And I just want to piggyback on what you guys were just talking about. What a lot of people don't realize is some of the heaviest expenses that can come out of a branch or a loan officer's pocket, or even worse, built into a loan officer's comp plan, is the marketing expenses. You're paying for CRM, you're paying for mobile mortgage app, you're paying for a lot of tools that has a large impact, and none of that is taken from the branch or the originator directly. So that is saving people a lot. And not only that, it's more effective here. So we're actually making you money with something that's not costing you money. So that's a huge benefit there.
Totally.
Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions coming in. Appreciate you both doing this today. That was absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to let you guys get on with your day. But thank you once again, and thank you everyone for attending. This will be posted up on joingfi.com, where you can learn more about the company and request to speak to a talent acquisition representative.
Thanks, James. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Rach.
Thank you, Julie.
Thanks,
Talk
James.
to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.